Minus 60.
60.
Yeah. I've been missing this all my life.
Yeah, what is cold for you now, like in numbers?
And then we fished in the frozen river in winter. Like,
How does the cold weather feels in your body?
it's cold, it's Russia, you know.
Hi everyone, I am Maria and today I have a special guest. It's Kristine Bolt. Hi! She's from Jamaica and I invited her today to join this video because I want to know what it's like to live in Yakutia if you're a foreigner. So Kristine, how long have you been living here?
Almost 4 years. This August will make it 4 years completely.
Wow. Yeah, 4 years, it's a long period.
Yeah, sometimes it feels long, other times it feels fast.
Okay, and what do you do here?
I'm a teacher, so I spend most of my time teaching. I teach children.
What do you teach?
I teach English.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And you're a teacher of English. You could go anywhere. Like you could teach English in China, in Korea, in South America. Why Yakutia?
Actually, before I came to Yakutia, I was going to move to Chile. I actually had a job in Chile. And I was getting prepared to go to Chile.
Yes.
And then I saw this job for Siberia. And I was like, oh, yes, I'm not going to Chile. I'm going to Siberia. A lot of those places are hot. They're just hot. And I do not like to be hot.
Okay.
I like to be hot when I'm at the beach. If I'm not at the beach, I don't want to be hot.
Okay.
So I don't want to be like hot all day. Right. So for me, Yakutia is perfect.
So okay, what are temperatures in Jamaica? It's regular temperatures.
Regular temperatures are in the high plus 20s, right? So probably close to around 30.
So it's
Yeah.
irregular.
Yeah, it's like all year.
All
It's
year.
always summer in Jamaica.
Yeah, and here in Yakutia, it's absolutely opposite.
Yeah, summer is like 6 or 8 weeks here.
Yeah.
And for me, that's perfectly fine. I love that I can see the extreme changes in the seasons, right? So I know when it's summer, I know when it's fall, I know for sure when it's winter, and I can see the spring. And for me, because I grew up with just one experience, for me, it's very interesting and exciting that I can see all the seasons every year. I love that.
Yeah. And how was your first winter? Like you came in summer, right?
I came like near to the end of summer. And so actually the day I came here was the last hot day of the year. Like it was hot. I was like, it's interesting. I didn't expect it to be hot. And then the next day it just was not hot. And that was it. The heat was finished. So my first winter, I think it was fine. I don't remember being like shocked or anything, because before I came, when I'm moving to somewhere new, I don't do a lot of research because I don't want my opinions to be formed by other people's opinions. I want to make my own opinions, right? So I usually do very basic research. Yeah. So I knew that it's extremely cold here, but that's all I needed to know. So when winter came, for me, it was very special, very unique, and just really very interesting. Like I remember the first day that it snowed when I was here. It was not the first time I was seeing snow, but it was like magical. It transformed the city. And like, whereas when I just came, I was like, okay, it's Yakutsk, it's a city, okay. When it started to snow, it just became, the atmosphere seemed more dramatic and just more just beautiful somehow. And it just transformed everything for me. Wow. And I think that was when I started to fall in love with Yakutia. It was that first winter, yeah.
And before you came to Yakutia, what was the coldest that you have experienced?
Let's see. Not that cold. I guess maybe 10 or 8 degrees. Positive, yeah. Definitely not below zero. Definitely not below zero. And actually, when I was coming here, people were saying, but what is there to do there? It's just going to stay inside. Like there's nothing to do. And I said, well, 1 million people live in Yakutia. And they thrive in Yakutia. And they prosper in Yakutia. I'm pretty sure I don't have to worry about finding things to do in Yakutia. Because you cannot tell me that 1 million people just stay home all the time. So I wasn't worried about it.
Yeah, so now when you have been here for more than 3 years, did the level of cold change for you? What is cold for you now?
Oh my goodness, for sure. Like when I go to Jamaica to visit my family, usually in the summers, I feel extra hot, I think, right? Even actually in the summer in Yakutia, sometimes I feel so hot. I feel like I'm on fire, I'm burning up. I think my cold tolerance has definitely increased. So I think I just deal with cold better.
Yeah. What is cold for you now, like in numbers?
In numbers, I think cold for me now is like minus 40.
Minus 40.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're like normal Yakutia.
Yes. Yeah.
What is the coldest that you have experienced here?
Minus 60.
60.
Yes, because one winter I went to Yakutia, actually over New Year's, and one day while I was there, it went down to minus 60.
Yeah.
So far, that's the coldest I've experienced.
Yakutia is the coldest place in the world.
Yes.
The coldest inhabited. And how was it?
I loved it. Just like everywhere else in Yakutia, I found that people were very warm and welcoming, right? I didn't feel like a stranger, and I went, in Aimakan and actually everywhere that I go in Yakutia, I always feel like people welcome me. So I loved it. I had interesting experiences there. When I went to Aimakan, I went with a group. So like I met a reindeer herder. That was so fun. It was so fun. And like went on a reindeer sled through the forest, and just like lots of fun things. Went into their permafrost caves, and stuff. But it just all sorts of nice things to do.
And how does the cold weather feels in your body? How would you describe this?
Okay, well, first of all, I love that my lashes get white, get frosty. I love that. I remember the first winter when I started to notice on people. So I'd be walking, I was like, oh my goodness, her lashes are white. Her lashes are white. And it didn't occur to me that mine were also white. I would just be looking at everyone else. And then one time I was like, wait, why do my lashes feel heavy? I was like, oh, I've got them too. And then I noticed like people would be looking at me because I'm dark, it's more obvious, right? And so people would be looking at me and I was like, oh my gosh, I have frosty lashes too. So like that's one obvious thing. Sometimes, of course, my hands get cold, but that's why you just need good gloves, right? I think one of the things that people forget when they think about somewhere cold is that you just need to dress appropriately. You just need to have the right clothes and you'll be fine, right? So, for example, I have my reindeer fur boots. I have my umti, right? Because they keep my feet warm. And because I like to walk a lot, when I'm walking, I don't have to worry about my feet getting cold, right? I have my ski pants, which keep me nice and warm. I have a good coat. I have my nice mittens and my hat. So I dress appropriately. And so I don't, I'm not scared of the cold.
So like at any temperature you can go outside and it's just fine. It's not like
Exactly.
under some temperature you cannot go outside.
Exactly. There's no time when you cannot go outside. Just dress appropriately.
This is very important.
Yes.
Yes.
I mean, don't come to Yakutia and just wear tights and a parka. Like, no, that's like, you're not ready for the weather here. Just dress appropriately, and then you don't have to worry about anything, and you can just enjoy yourself.
Yeah. Okay. And what about the food in Yakutia? Do you like the Yakut cuisine?
I love Yakut cuisine. I've tried a lot of it. I think probably the only thing that I have tried that I don't love, I don't hate it, but I don't love it, is kvass. I just don't have the taste for it. But everything else that I've eaten, I love. I haven't had a bad meal here. I love all the food. I think maybe a part of it is that when I go to somewhere, food is such an important part of a culture.
Yeah.
And I don't go with a mindset that I only eat this or I only eat that. Because why go there, right?
Yeah.
I should just stay where everything is familiar.
Yeah.
But when I open myself and I'm willing to try the food from where I'm at, it just opens a whole new world of cuisine for me, right? I love Russian food. I love Yakut food. So it just kind of not limiting myself has opened a world of new food for me.
That's very nice attitude. And can you say something that you really liked from the cuisine?
Well, I had moose nose. I don't know what moose is in Russian.
Okay.
You know the antlers, okay. Oh my gosh, it was so delicious. It was so good. I do like horse. Okay.
Horse.
Yes, and I do love deer. So like all the usual Yakut things to eat, I really love them. I enjoy eating them. Yeah, it's not usual cuisine for where I'm from, just because we don't have those animals. Well, we have horses, but we don't eat them, right? Horses are more for like entertainment. But here it has opened a whole new world of possibilities for what I can eat, and I've enjoyed all of it.
Very nice. The moose nose is a delicacy. It's a rare thing to find.
Yes, I heard a friend of mine who's from the north. She lived in the north for a long time. She made it. Oh, it was so good. I loved it.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah.
You are the first person that I have ever met who said that the favorite thing from the Yakut cuisine is a moose nose. Yeah. Normally people say something like, I like strawberry jam, or I like, I don't know, something.
Well, to be honest, I love the jams. I love the jams here. Since I moved here and I started to have homemade jam, I cannot eat jam from the store.
Yeah.
Before that, I had never had homemade jam. Like, nobody makes jam in Jamaica. Okay, well, not usually. I don't know anybody in Jamaica who makes jam. We usually buy our jam from the supermarket. So when I had homemade jam here, I was like, oh, I've been missing this all my life. So I had it, and then I was like, oh, I need some jam. Went to the shop and bought some. I couldn't eat it because the homemade jam is so good. So I do love jam, don't get me wrong, but the moose nose was really good too. I enjoy all of it.
Okay. And did you go collect berries?
I have been, yes. So I've collected berries and made my own jam also. I don't think I'm as good at it as like some of my friends are, but I've done it.
You are like second time accepted as a Yakutian woman. First was -40. The second is collecting berries.
Yeah.
Let's look.
What's the third? Well, I'm not like a Yakutian woman in that I don't make a fire well. Yakutian women know how to make a fire. Like just get some wood and make a fire. I'm not good at that yet. Yeah.
It's just a matter of practice.
Yeah, yeah.
What is your favorite thing about living in Yakutia?
I have two favorite things.
Yeah.
Okay, my first favorite thing is Yakutian people. Because I have found that Yakut people are very warm, kind, generous, and friendly. Okay, lots of times I'm just walking on the street and people just stop and talk to me or just say hello or whatever. People have just been very kind in helping me to live here. When I was just moving here, even now I've lived here for a few years, people are always just helping me with things. Not only my friends, but just people. When I went to IMECON, for example, the people there were always, oh, come with us, let's do this. Oh, come on, we're going here or there. They don't have to. Nobody has to do any of this. A lot of times I don't even need to ask. They just offer. People are just, the people of Yakutia, I find, are really just amazing. The second thing that I love about Yakutia is the nature. I just love the environment. I think it's such differences in environment. The forest and the plains, the rivers, it's beautiful in every season. It doesn't matter what season it is, there's something beautiful about every season in Yakutia. I think the one thing I don't like is the mosquitoes in the summer.
Yes.
Mosquitoes are huge and a lot. There's a lot of them. But really that's the only thing. But I just find that the nature of the place and the people of the place are just the best things about Yakutia. That's what I love about it.
Oh, this is so nice to hear.
I have a theory actually that maybe the people of Yakutia are how they are because of the weather. I don't know, I might be wrong. Because I think that because the weather is so extreme, kindness can actually save someone's life.
Yeah.
Right? And so like you and I don't have to be friends for you to be kind to me. Because it could mean that you are helping to save my life just by being kind to me, right? And I have found that not in life-saving situations, because I haven't been in any life-saving situations, but it's just an ingrained part of the people of Yakutia that I have met. And I've met a lot of people, so I don't think it's like the exception. I don't think it's like the odd thing. I think it's just normal.
Yeah.
Right? And I think perhaps Yakutian people don't recognize it because it's so normal for them. But it's not so normal for me. Not that people aren't kind and generous where I'm from or in the places I've traveled to, but I see it in such a pronounced way here that it's like you cannot miss it. That's what I have found.
That's so nice to hear.
It's true.
Yeah, like maybe we don't actually realize it.
Yeah.
We just live like this and hearing it from foreigners. So
yeah, I think
looking from the other side.
Yeah, I think it's just normal for you, for Yakutian people, and so it doesn't occur to you guys that it's it's a trait that is really outstanding. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's amazing.
Thank you for sharing this.
Sure.
What is your favorite place in Yakutia?
Oh my goodness. What a difficult question. I mean, I don't know if I can choose one because I just think all of Yakutia is amazing. And although I've lived here for almost 4 years, I've really only seen a fraction of it because it's so huge. But one place I've been to that I really, really love, I think it's beautiful, is Amga. I visited Amga in the summer a couple of years ago, and it was just beautiful, just stunning. I did love IMECON also, maybe partly because it's extreme. But yeah, I think I would say Amga. It's just beautiful.
Yeah, yeah. I also think so. The
Yeah.
Amga is one of the most beautiful places in Yakutia.
That's what I heard, and that's why I went there. Somebody, I was like during the summer, I was like, what should I do? Where should I go? And someone said, guys, like one of the most beautiful places in Yakutia. You should go there. So I said, well, okay. And I went on a camping trip. And it was just beautiful. I was on the river for a few days and camping, and it was
the river is so clean,
clean and clear and just refreshing. It was amazing.
Yeah. What do you miss about Jamaica?
Okay, I tend to be a little bit different from most people that I know because I don't usually miss places. It's usually because I am very focused on where I am. I don't usually focus on where I'm not because I don't really see the point of that. It just doesn't seem very productive. And if I wanted to focus on that, then I should just stay there. Like, what's the point of leaving if I'm just going to keep focusing on it, right? I leave so I can experience something new. So I don't usually miss places.
Yeah.
But to be completely honest, I think when I do leave Yakutia, I will miss it. I think just because there's a part in my heart that now belongs to Yakutia, I think forever. And so I think that when I do leave here eventually, that I'll miss it. But generally speaking, I don't usually miss places because I really like to enjoy where I am and what I'm experiencing.
Yeah, I see. That's a good point of view. Yeah. Can you tell your best experience in Yakutia? Maybe one example.
Oh my gosh, I've had so many great experiences here. Maybe actually, I think every New Year's, I have a friend who never lets me spend New Year's alone, right? And I know that because shout out to Lena. I know that because New Year's here in Russia, it's like Christmas in where I'm from, right? And it's a time for family. And I think at first, because she was just saying, again, that's a part of the kindness of Yakutian people. She didn't want me to be alone, or she didn't want me or other foreigners who are here to be alone. And she said, come over to my house for New Year's, be with my family. But now I go because I'm her friend. We're friends, right? And because I know that it's a special time that is for family, it really, really means a lot to me that she includes me in her family time. Because I know, it's time for the kids and it's time for exchanging presents, and it's just a really big thing. And for her to include me in that, even from the first year, before we were really good friends, it means the world to me, right? And so I just keep having experiences that I couldn't pay for. I can't pay for. It's just things that are just, they happen and they just become a part of my heart, and they just become a part of who I am, right? So I don't know, Yakutia I think it kind of changes. It has changed me anyway. Yeah.
Yeah, and what do you think it changed in you?
Well, first of all, I think it taught me to be kinder. It has taught me to be kinder, right? I mean, I don't think I was an awful person, but just observing how effortlessly kind Yakutians are has shown me the possibilities of being even kinder, right? And so it challenges me to be a better person. I think I work for one of the best companies on earth. Okay, I've worked for several companies in my life, and I have found this one to be the healthiest, emotionally speaking. In terms of if a company can have emotional health, this one has been the emotionally healthiest that I have ever worked for. And because of how the team members in the company interact with each other, the kind of respect that they show to each other, and how they deal with each other. It has shown me the possibilities of how to be also a better part of a team. I always thought I was a good team member, but I think that I have been challenged to be a better team member. And so this kind of goes back to one of the reasons why I like to go to places where it's not usual to go to, because it helps me to see things in myself that I wouldn't normally see, and therefore to become a better version of myself. I think Yakutia has done that for me. Not only to be a better person, just who I am in general, but also to be less judgmental, right? People judge me a lot for the choices I make. For example, when I was moving here, oh my goodness, thank God for my family, because they were like, okay, you go, right? But most people, when I told them I was moving here, they were horrified. It's cold. It's Russia. I'm like, so what? But it's been the best experience of my life, right? I wouldn't have been here for 4 years if it hadn't been. And so because I have sort of that experience of being judged for the choices that I've made, I find myself trying to be less judgmental of people's choices in life. So it's these kinds of things, because we can easily say, I am like this or I am like that. But until you put yourself in a situation where you actually have to be, you don't really know who you are. And because I try to put myself in these situations, I kind of know myself better. And therefore, I'm able to choose who I want to be more and actually become that person.
Yeah, interesting.
Yeah.
I think I need to go to Jamaica to see myself in another environment.
Maybe, yeah. You'd be surprised at things that come out. Sometimes things that come out when you put yourself in a different environment, they're not so nice. It's not always great things that you learn about yourself, right? I've learned some things about myself where I'm like, ooh, is that really who I am? But it's always good to know. It's good to know, because then you're like, okay, that's what's in me. I don't want that. And so then you can make a new choice to be and do something different.
Yeah, you're like guru.
I don't think so.
Teaching people.
Well, I think it's just what I've learned myself over the last few years.
That's very wise.
So yeah, I try to live that way. So it's just what I've learned over the last few years.
Yeah. Do you speak Russian or Sakha language?
I don't speak Sakha language. I can say Maktal and that's it. Okay, so that's it. I speak Russian terribly.
You don't speak Russian very well. You don't speak Sakha, but you speak English. And Yakutia is not a place where everybody speaks English. Everybody speaks English. So how do you survive? Like, do you have any problems?
Not really. When a lot of times I go out on, trips or to places where nobody is there who speaks English. So it's not like I have a translator who goes everywhere with me. It's nothing like that. But I still communicate and we understand each other, yeah?
No problem.
Yeah, it's fine. Somehow we manage. It's okay, yeah?
Yeah. That's very nice. Very nice to hear.
Yeah.
You can go not knowing language to any village and everything will be fine.
Yeah, and you know what? This is the age of the internet. Google Translate, Yandex Translate. There are apps that can help. I don't think it's anything that needs to limit you from where you go or how far you can go, right? Before I moved to Russia, I didn't know anything about the Russian language. I didn't know alphabet, I didn't know numbers, I knew nothing. I had to learn the alphabet from A. Okay? But I'm glad that I didn't let that stop me. I'm happy that I didn't let fear of not knowing the language stop me, because I've had some very rich experiences here that I wouldn't have had if I hadn't moved to Russia. Because I opened myself to the possibility of moving to somewhere where I didn't know anything. I didn't know, I mean, even the language. Then I was able to have that kind of experience, right? I have been dog sledding in Yakutia. Now, when in my life did I ever think that I would go dog sledding? Never! I never thought about it before I moved here. But I've been a couple of times and I love it. It's such an exhilarating experience, right? Had I not moved here, it would not have occurred to me to do it. And so I think when you put yourself in unusual environments and in unusual situations, you open yourself up to so much joy just from the opportunity to do things that you never thought were possible for you to do. And when you do that, all kinds of things become possible, right? So then, because I know, okay, dog sledding was not something I thought was possible, like it didn't even enter in my mind as a possibility. Well, then now I'm kind of thinking, well, what else is possible for me to do in life? Like, I wouldn't have thought that if I had not had certain experiences, right? And so that's like one of the reasons why I'm happy that I let myself go beyond the confines that would typically have imprisoned me. Yeah. Maybe that's a strong word, but would have kept me just kind of boxed in. Yeah, I am happy that I moved out of my comfort zone to be able to live here and to do the things that I have done.
Okay, so you did dog sledding. What else exotic things that you have done here?
Is it January 19th, I think, when everybody goes into the river, into the lake, like when it's in January.
Yeah, Epiphany, like.
Right. I don't remember what it's called, but I did that once.
So you went to the ice?
Yeah.
To the hole in the ice?
And went in.
You went in
3 times.
When it was -40.
Yes. Yes.
I have never done this.
Oh.
Yeah. So you're more experienced than me.
Well, that was also very exhilarating, because you're like, oh my goodness, I'm going into this super cold water and it's gonna be so cold, and then you actually do it and get out and it's like, oh, I did it. You know, it's very exhilarating. So I've done that. I said I've been like on the reindeer sled, and I've been dog sledding. Camping is something, like, it's very typical in Yakutia for people to go camping. That is not typical where I am from. Like, I'd never been camping in an actual tent before, living in Jamaica, because it's just not something that people regularly do.
Do you fish? Did you fish?
I've been fishing. Actually, I went fishing in February. For the first time in Yakutia. Yeah, so, and that was fun, the traditional ice fishing. I've done that.
You did, like,
yeah.
Hole?
I was terrible at it. I was so bad.
Did you catch anything?
I caught like 5.
Wow.
But like everybody else caught like 40. So, but I didn't care, because I didn't like it. The point was not for me to go and catch a huge amount of fish. The point was to have the experience of what is it like to ice fish. And it was fun. It was fun to be with a group of people. It was fun to learn to learn a Yakutian tradition. And it was just fun to be out on the ice. Like, we drove onto a frozen lake or river. We stopped the car on the frozen river. We cut a hole in the frozen river. And then we fished in the frozen river in winter. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's normal in Yakutia, but it's a frozen river. And we're walking on it, and we're driving on it like it's a road. Like, that's amazing. I think that's amazing.
Yeah.
Right? Maybe people watch that kind of stuff on National Geographic Channel. I live in National Geographic Channel. That's what, you know? I find that Amazing. So, because it's kind of normal here, of course, it's usual for Yakutian people to drive on the winter road, and it's just like, oh yeah, the winter road is open. It's not usual for me, and so every single time, I just find it brilliant. I love it.
Many people ask, like, is it dangerous to drive on the roads? And guys, it's a yeah.
Also, the government would not let us drive on it if it was dangerous, because that's citizens like dying. So no government wants that. So yeah, of course it's safe. And I also think when the ice breaks in the spring, I think that is just beautiful.
Yeah.
I think it's amazing to see all these tons of ice just floating past, and to know that this piece of ice that I'm looking at is going to the Arctic Ocean. Like, it's gonna be in the Arctic Ocean soon, and I saw it with my eyes. I think that's brilliant.
Yeah.
Like, those kinds of things hit me as just amazing. Yeah.
Interesting. Last but not least, what piece of advice would you give for people who are planning to visit Yakutia?
Well, first of all, I don't know if a lot of people plan to visit Yakutia, because it always blows my mind that Yakutia is such a huge part of Russia and nobody knows about it. Like, relatively few people in the world know that such a place exists. It blows my mind. Like, I don't judge that, because I didn't know about Yakutia before I moved here. But it's such an amazing place, I think. I think it's beautiful, and it has so much natural wonder to offer. I mean, if someone is a more hardcore adventurer, there's something here for them. If someone is kind of, they like nature, but they don't want to go hardcore, there's something here for them. As long as you like nature, there is something here for you, right? And the advice I would give is, don't let the extreme nature of the environment stop you. 1 million people live here, or more than 1 million people live here. 1 million people thrive here. 1 million people prosper here. It means it's fine to live here, okay? Yeah. Just because it's very cold, don't let that stop you. If the cold is scary for you, come in the summer. Summer is amazing here. It's easy to talk about winter because it lasts for so long, or winter conditions last for so long. But every season here has something amazing to offer, I think. So if you're scared of the cold, come in the summer. It's beautiful. It's gorgeous in the summer, barring the mosquitoes. But that's okay. You can, spray yourself. It's fine. There's a solution for that also. So I would say don't limit yourself by any fear of the weather, fear of the language. Don't let fear stop you from doing any of it, because the one thing that fear will leave you with, if you let it win, is regret. Because at some point in the future, you're gonna look back and say, I wish I did it I wish I had done it when I had the opportunity, and it will have passed you by. Don't let that happen. I think that everybody who comes to Yakutia I'm biased. I'm not an impartial observer anymore. I'm very heavily biased towards Yakutia, and I don't care. I don't care who knows it. I'm very heavily biased towards Yakutia. So I believe that if a person comes here with the intention of just enjoying and learning as much as they can, they will have an amazing time. If they like museums, there are a bunch of museums here. If they like, there's all the nature here for everybody to experience. So I think there's something here for everybody.
Do people in Yakutia like foreigners?
Yes, I think definitely, based on my experience, people are very often want to talk to me. They will just, like random people on the street, not necessarily people I know, will want to talk to me, or just they're very curious and want to ask me questions, and just talk to me. I'll be in a taxi and the driver is just like, where are you from and what do you do and where are you in Yakutia? Just, yeah, people are curious and welcoming.
Not like go.
No, never. Never. It's never been like that from anyone from Yakutia. I've had that experience once here, but it was not someone who was Yakutian. It was so strange. But yeah, people here are just, they're curious, but not offensively curious. Curious like, wow, you're interesting. That's amazing that you're here. Yeah.
Yeah, because we don't have much foreigners.
Yeah.
That's why people are very interested.
Yes. Yeah. They're curious and interested in a welcoming way. Yeah.
Okay. Great. So that's it for today. Thank you very much for coming. Thank you for your time. And you guys, don't be afraid to come to Yakutia and visit our region. It's very nice.
Definitely come to Yakutia.
And just thank you for watching. Bye.
Bye.